InDesign, go to your Finder, go to Applications. You can open this little InDesign folder and click and drag this icon to the dock down here, which I already have. Open this up and go to New File and make sure it's 8.5 by 11 inches. Vertical orientation. We do not need facing pages for this project. 0.5 margins. All of this is correct, so go ahead. Now, InDesign is very similar to Illustrator, so if I'm going to use this as sort of a template example. So if I want to have the entire background in color, I need to use this rectangle frame tool, click and drag over my document, and then fill it. So I'm just going to fill it with pink for now. Actually, I'm going to double click that and make that a pale pink and say okay. Now, same thing, I want to make layers and lock this so it doesn't move. That would be my pink background. And lock that. Okay. So new layer. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to drop pictures in. So again, I'm going to this time click and hold and make the ellipse frame tool. Now you don't have to do your portrait in a circle. I'm just using this as my general guide if I want to do something similar. And my circle that has an X in it, I'm going to go to File, Place, and find the picture in my MP4 folder, Resume. Here's the avatar. So you're going to drop the Illustrator document into this circle. Now with the white arrow direct selection tool, I can click and this is the picture that is in the circle frame. So if I hold the shift key, I can click and drag this smaller. Now the one thing you need to do is make sure that your Illustrator document does not have the photograph in the background. So I'm going to go back to Illustrator. Where's it at? Sorry. Let me open the Illustrator document. And even if your avatar is not done yet, go ahead and place it in your InDesign document. Let me replace this. This is because this photograph that's placed in the Illustrator document is missing from where it used to be. So it's looking for that picture from my desktop, but I moved it in the folder. So I'm just replacing that picture. All right. So I want to make sure I take my photograph and delete it from this file because you don't want any extra pictures in Illustrator to go into InDesign. So I'm going to save that. Now watch what happens. Now when I go to my InDesign document, it's got a question mark because it knows the file's been updated. So now I want to go to my links, go to Window and Links. This is the avatar Illustrator. It's identifying and there's a question mark that's basically I need to relink it, which means it's just going to update it. So now when I relink, gotta make sure you always have your work in the correct folder so you can always find it. I'm going to open this. Okay, so now I don't have that blue background, which was from the photograph that was in the Illustrator document. So the nice thing is, even if your Illustrator document's not done, you're still going to place your art in here and get this document started, and then you'll just update your link once you finish it. So the cool thing here is I can select the circle itself with the arrow and fill it. So maybe I want that to, I'm going to put blue in there for now. So now I don't have to, in Illustrator, you would have to draw a box behind there and do all kinds of stuff. So far you can see the X. If I hit the W key, it's kind of like the preview mode in Illustrator. So this is showing me all the separate boxes and that's what the document looks like. So now I want to go to, let's look at this. So I'm going to start putting in my text and maybe some other boxes. So if you want to draw a box that's got curved edges, again, I'm going to click and hold rectangle frame tool. So here's one of the boxes. I'm going to make a new color swatch. Just make this even paler. It's gray. I'll fix that later. Either way, so I have this box here. I want to go to my properties. And shoot, where is it? It's over here. Okay, so under appearance, where it says corner, I can go to the right here and make my corners rounded. So if you zoom in, or actually let's make this red so you can see it better. So you can see I have rounded corners. I can adjust the corner, like if I want it to be more rounded, I click up or down. So that's the cool thing. So that's a separate box. If we go here, so there's a separate box that's got all these icons. These icons, whatever you're putting in, you're going to create in Illustrator and drop them in the same way you drop this picture in. Text boxes. So the beautiful thing, the reason you'll use InDesign instead of Illustrator, for example, is when you have what's called body text. When you have a lot of type, it's better to do it in InDesign because this is very similar, like a word processing program. So I'm going to, for now, go here, and hopefully you already did all this in your Google Doc when I was absent. And if not, you'll do that later. So I would just put all my copy or my text in this text box and start checking, changing the font. So if I select the font, here's my character. This is all my fonts. Very similar to Illustrator. You can, download fonts and open them and use them here. So that's just to get you started. Just so you know, all of these set boxes here are separate boxes. So I'm going to draw another box here. Now the difference, the key commands are a little bit different in these. So I'm just going to show you real quick. So in Illustrator, if I wanted this to be behind here, I would Command X to cut it and Command B paste behind. Here, you need to go up to while the yellow's selected and arrange it. So it's this Command bracket key. So I'm going to send this backward, but not all the way to the back because I want this to be not behind the pink box. So anyway, so go ahead and start that. When you're done today, save as. Let's go to Creative Resume, I believe. And I'm going to save this to, let's find my desktop, MP4, resume, done. Okay, so now I know where my document is, I know where my art is, everything's going to go in that folder, and I'm going to continue. I'm just, again, using this as a guide. You can do your design layout anyway, and we'll talk more in class. That's it.